You are live, gentlemen.
Good afternoon from the Blur. We are in game 2 of the playoffs. We're a little late in getting started here, so apologies from the broadcast crew, which is me, John Light, Brian Binware, and of course, Brett Spencer.
Hello.
Top of the first, no runs. Good hit by, I believe it was by Metter.
Chris Metter got on it at the single.
Was that Bogad who almost put it over the fence with a phenomenal play? Who was that?
Yeah, Bogad hit it right to the wall, and Kyle.
Great play by Kyle.
Great play, catching it, robbing the home run, tumbling over the fence. We apologize for the technical difficulties of not having that on video, but a great play. And then third up to bat, flew out to Pete, and that ended the inning. So
bottom one, you're picking up with the scoreless game. Will Rath on the mound.
Looks like Kyle's a little hurt there after that swing.
Taking a swing. He landed on his elbow decently hard over the outfield fence.
I'm sure that golf yesterday did not help either.
That was right.
1-1 count.
As Will
slaps at it, play by McCarthy.
Will's first 3 pitches looked quite speedy.
Yeah, but effective. So we'll see if the Brewers decide to pull the gun out.
You know, I just don't think that's their MO. I think their MO would be to tell PG to go in there and match it. Mm-hmm. That's the game we're going to get to, and if we see that, that's going to be a treat for the fans today.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And I do think Pete is he's taken our patriotic bat, that one that we were looking for earlier, and the Brewers are now.
Is that where it went?
That is where it went, ladies and gentlemen.
PG with the
that's
fly
going to
ball
get
to right
tree.
field,
It's
and it looks like
they
it's
called
foul.
it foul.
Just barely.
We can't see from over here.
PG.
I don't think the Brewers are very happy about it.
No.
Our friends in Shantytown have done nothing. I don't think they were paying attention.
They might have been sleeping, trying to get that rest before your next game. PG being smart on the base paths, though. They're being aggressive, running.
I think in this league, if they're shading you and you hit the ball to right field,
yep,
you gotta assume you're gonna be able to get 2.
Yeah, ground out there for the second out. Corey McCarthy to the pitcher. So hopefully you can hear me. I guess I should project a little bit more, just being a little farther away from the camera. But
yeah, it's a little hard, but first 2 innings were quick. First inning actually.
First inning. Yep.
Each team was
top
quick.
and bottom. So here we go. Still 0-0 game. Top 2.
And we called that last game of the regular season between the Twins and the Yankees. Edlow played really well. Not so much on this first at bat. Good play by Pete. But I know that we're expecting big things out of that Twins lineup, even though we haven't seen it yet. Correct,
absolutely,
boys?
Absolutely. I mean, seeing them against the Yankees, they definitely found a groove against Jackson. And it was just 7 runs after 7 runs after 7 runs. The Yankees kept it fairly close, but at the same time, I expect this game to end up being a high-scoring game from both teams.
Let's talk pitching decisions. The Brewers go with Patrick Gaddy. The Twins with Will Rath.
Mm-hmm.
How quick of a hook do you think each manager has, and how quick of a hook would you have to go to the number 2 on each team?
You know, I think Peter's managed his rotation pretty well. I do think there's a short leash, but if PG continues to pitch the way he has, if this is the trend, then probably expect to see him the whole game.
I think the added benefit of having PG on the mound is you get Kyle in the field. He made a good play there. He made a good play the first that our friends online missed, and you don't quite get that same.
Yeah.
If he's on the mound, so
absolutely
that might play into the decision a little bit. You think?
Yeah, I think so for sure. And I think if you were to say whose leash is longer, PG's is probably a little longer than Will's. Will has been a little up and down, and they have Spencer, who has a history of coming in and being able to shut people out. But
first at bat for MVP, and he goes yard. You're gonna need some of that out of the old manager of this team.
And maybe that's the spark they need. You know, going off their leadership, getting that first run, and maybe that's all the spark they needed, like you said. So
1-0 Brewers. We are bottom 2 now. Nobody out. Pete led the inning off. Derek Cornell at the plate.
Nice pickup. I mean, of course he played last year with them sparsely, but has been a really solid 4 for them all season. And you get that lefty side at the plate, just a little bit different.
Would be a 3 on a lot of teams. That lefty is very, very underrated. There's not a lot of them in this league. There should be more. I think it's an advantage hitting lefty, especially if you can hit it hard. You are disadvantaged with that pine tree. Not going to be a lot of home runs, but if you get it hung up there and can run, then you're going to get some doubles. And if you hit it hard, you're really going to be able to do some damage.
Yeah.
As he pops it up, which is what you can't do with
Chris Metter.
Several-time Gold Glove winner, Platinum Hands winner, Chris Metter.
Yep. That is the first out of the inning there. And I was actually talking with Mr. Cornell, the younger.
Derek.
There's a single up the right or the left field line. I apologize.
Good piece of hitting from Kyle there.
Yeah. And I was talking with Derek before the game, and he had mentioned to me that last year he really struggled.
That's going to end the inning here.
Hitting it to the opposite side, and this year he was able
1-0 Brewers through 2.
find some hitting to the opposite field. So it's a new advantage to his at bat.
Well, he's going to continue to grow as a younger player. He has the advantage over guys like you and me who have been around for a while. He's still learning how to do things. I think old dogs like you and I have learned all we're going to learn.
Absolutely.
Derek is 26. And he has a lot of learning still to do and a bright career ahead of him.
Yeah, it's easy to say for you and I, like, we are the players we are.
It is what it is.
Sometimes that can be an advantage because you know with a role you fit into your lineup. And sometimes that promising outlook for a new player is great, but at the same time, that variable comes into factor for the captain there. So it makes it a little bit sometimes harder for a decision. So.
And speaking of players who we know what they are, we know what Spencer Bogad is. He is that right there.
Absolutely. Home run machine, Spencer Bogad. I thought I heard he was thinking about changing his legal name to HR. Just the initials, HR. HR Bogad.
It would be fairly fitting for a player of his caliber, former MVP, on the old Hall of Fame ballot. I think we'll see his day come, if not this year, in the future.
Yeah.
He's been a several-time champion.
Front office member too. Works really hard for this league.
And gets his own home run balls too. And there are quite a few home run balls from Spencer Bogad. So quite a few to get.
I think that's what he uses in his instead of his off-season workouts. His off-season workouts are going to get his own home run balls. That's how he stays in shape for the wiffle ball season.
That would wear me out to get all those home run balls, for sure. So there's still nobody out. We are top 3. It is now tied with after that Bogad home run.
We welcome Brett back to the booth.
Had to take a phone call from my mother. She was curious. She was watching the live feed, and it went out in our game. So she was trying to figure out what happened in the bottom of the 5th of our game.
A lot of people probably in the same boat.
And how is Meg doing nowadays?
She's grand. She's very good. She just got engaged a couple months ago.
Congratulations, Meg. If you're watching, congratulations.
So she's good. Just, living the dream. She works for us sometimes. That's about it.
There you go.
It's nice. It's nice that you and Blake take care of your mom like that. That's good stuff.
She comes in twice a week. She loves it. We bring the dogs in. She just basically works for the dogs all day. So she's happy. So bring me up to speed here. Where are we at?
We are 1-1. We are 1-1. Nobody, one out because McCarthy clearly made it out, right? I didn't see it.
I believe so.
He was batting. Now he's not batting.
He popped out and almost hit the tree.
So we are now 2-1 because, as expected, Ed O'Donovan stays hot.
Stays hot, and following the Spencer Bogad traditional home run there. So Chris Metter, leadoff hitter for the Twins here. Chris has struggled a little bit at the plate this year, and admittedly so on his end.
My
gets a little help there.
I think it hit PG and then was redirected before Kyle could get there.
Yeah.
I am not the scorekeeper, but if I was, that'd be a hit in my book.
For sure.
We will see how that is scored up top.
But that hurts the Brewers either way.
It does.
You can't give up outs to the Twins team.
No, and
If you have a chance to get a guy like Chris Metter, you got to get a guy like Chris Metter. Unless you're
and
going
they
to do
got-
that,
man,
because getting Spencer Bogat's probably a little better.
Even better.
Yeah.
You'd rather start the inning with Edlow and not
Yep.
Spencer than Edlow.
Yep.
You know,
So-
you say that, and I agree in general, but the way Edlow hit in that last game and the way he hit that home run right now,
You're right.
man, that's a dicey
You
proposition.
just never know.
it's an even year, and Edlow always says his even years are good. And his
So you're
odd years are
saying the
bad.
Yankees need to sign Edlow Donen in the offseason? Is that
Every
what
o-
you're saying?
Well, if they
Because the
sign
Yankees,
him, then he will
Yankees
be
can't
poor.
play good in even years, and Edlow only plays good in even years. He could really. Even it
I
out.
would wait for a year because, of course, next year will be his down year. So if I were Scott Foley, I would definitely wait this year. But then, yeah, I think that would be a good consideration.
Well, I
For
can see Scott now,
2022.
so I know he's not watching live. But if Scott goes back and rewatches this for some reason, it's something to think about. Scott,
Yep.
a guy like Edlow could really fill out your lineup.
All been worth it. You guys take down the ship.
Blake Spencer coming by, the prettiest wiffle ball player in the league.
Are you announcing or? Yeah, you can say.
But you can sit. We'll welcome Blake Spencer, brother of Brett Spencer, to the booth.
Hey, folks. You're going to have to project quite a bit in order for them to hear you.
I'm just not gonna
Otherwise, you can just sit and hang out and watch the game with us.
I'm gonna sit. You guys take it.
Derek's high, and it's going to play Plinko.
might.
Where's it going to come down?
Is it
It came
gonna
down
fall? Oh,
in
it
the
came-
play-to-play, and I think that was a smart move by him to stay at first,
Absolutely.
knowing that his brother Kyle is up next.
Yep.
He needs to be a duck on the pond and not try and do too much.
Absolutely. Take your opportunities, make the most of them. Don't put your team in a bad situation.
And he's actually put his team in a very nice situation here because Kyle on command can do it. It's just a function of will it happen.
Will
He's
is-
down 0-2,
Will
so
is throwing gas. I'm not gonna mince words here. He's throwing gas.
Yeah.
Will is a fiery competitor. He is very, very highly respected in this league.
Absolutely. One of
Um,
the best left-handed pitcher we have in the league. Nothing
And-
against Kevin, because Kevin can definitely work it when he's on, but he doesn't get the innings to get in a groove as much as Will does. So
And I think something like a Derek Cornell hit getting on base, I think that irks Will Rath a little bit, and he wants to go compete, and compete he just did.
absolutely.
He competed and beat Kyle Cornell there. So one out, man on first.
Yep.
PG, you know he's dialed in. He knows it's the playoffs. He's focused. Didn't look like it there,
No. Missed.
but I think he's
quite
still
a bit.
focused.
Yeah. Brewers are no strangers to the playoffs, but you've got to be thinking about in the back of their mind, never winning a championship, being there consistently is weighing on them.
Listen, Ben, where I can tell you, I know for a fact it's not in the back of Pete's mind. It's on the front of his mind.
Good.
It's there. It hangs over like a cloud. They're down 2-1. We are going to top 4, I believe. And he's thinking about it right now. You can see him in the center shot, folks.
Number 5 there.
He knows, and he's gonna
Oh,
make. He's
and
gonna
he's got
make
a
this
shot
play.
here.
He's gonna make that
For the-
play. Well, as soon as that ball went up, I knew that his play was gonna be made.
Perfect. Great execution by Peter.
You know, we were kind of sitting in a dangerous spot. If a deep foul ball comes over here, we are
will
really not
need to
sitting
get
in
out
a
of the
good
way.
spot.
Yeah,
And
we will need to scramble. So
one out. The super hot Edlow Donen at the plate. He's got a strike. He's got at least one ball.
yeah, I believe the count is 1-1.
Cornell offering zero respect for his ability to go opposite field.
Smart move though. If you read the scouting report on Edlow, I'm not sure that he's hit a ball to right field.
Does he know where right field is?
I'm not sure. I honestly think that Eisenhower may have been in office the last time that he hit a ball to right field. So
And with that outside pitch from PG there, he's daring him to go over there.
he is. You could tell from the facial expression that Edlow really wanted that one.
So we've gotten ourselves into a big situation here. 2 strikes, 1 out, 1-run game. Edlow up, he swings, and that's going to be foul. Edlow willed it foul. He told that ball.
He has that even year magic going for
You
him.
will not.
But drops the bat anyway, so. Surprising, you'd think you can tell PG, I think it's kind of ramping it up as well, maybe just trying to even out the.
I said at the onset of this, as soon as Brett called Will on it, I said that the Brewers are not—they're not a team to call the gun. Despite what you might have read about Kyle Cornell, they are just not. They're a team to go and fight fire with fire. Got
And
him
he
with
gets
a
him-
great rise ball. Big situation. Big players come to play. PG came to play.
Absolutely. All right, bottom of 4 here, down 1.
You-
Brewers up to bat.
You
and
think the
got-
Brewers got to get one here, right? They at least
Absolutely.
got to tie it.
Looks like Captain Peter Light is up first here.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm the Brewers, this is the guy that I want up.
Absolutely.
He doesn't need to go yard, but he's probably thinking he needs to.
One of the most prolific SWBL players ever.
Mhm.
And you know, not to knock on Pete, but he's also one of the longest running members who have yet to win a championship. So
As discussed, veteran hit there. We know that Pete's thinking about it. I can promise you, Pete's thinking about it. He wants it worse than anybody you know in this league.
It'll be interesting to see if Derek does hit that similar single he had earlier, what Pete decides to do and how aggressive he wants to be on the bases.
I think it doesn't matter.
Does it
doesn't matter at all.
And
It's down, Pete. That turns the tide a little bit. It's now 3-2 Brew Crew. Bottom 4, Kyle up. You know Will's frustrated. He threw a nasty curveball there.
Here you go.
0-2.
0-2.
He's going to make Kyle chase.
He's got a lot to work with. It's a smart move from a pitcher's standpoint.
I think he's got a decent shot of getting him to do it. But Kyle's being smart up there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Way to fight it off. That was a good swing. Good ball to swing at.
Oh, and
Slaps
he
it
slaps
at
it to
Kevin
center
Poley.
field. Kevin Poley in the danger zone there.
Hopefully he took out an extra, life insurance policy for his work out there in the field, which is much appreciated as always. But in a playoff game, you got to be a head on a swivel out there
Absolutely.
in the field.
Especially with as hard as these guys can hit the ball.
PG says, I'm going yard too. Anything you can do, Derek, I can do better. 5-2 Brew Crew. 1 out, the captain, El Capitan, back at bat.
Who started it off.
So he had the savvy veteran single last time. You got to think after watching his friends go yard, he's going to go yard as he slaps at a ball that he was trying to go to right and run to first.
Yeah.
He just wants to be on base. He knows his teammates will pick him up if he gets on base.
You got to think that Jimmy Stout at home is just shouting his lungs out.
Jimmy,
Trying to root and will his team to a victory here.
you know what? That's a great point. Shout out Jimmy Stout, who I'm sure is watching. Your boys are up 5-2. They're all playing really well. They're looking fairly handsome, but they need you to round out that real,
Absolutely.
that real
Yeah.
crew.
Yeah.
And we hope all is well. We hope to see you out here soon as Pete takes a really horrible swing at that ball that he's going to want back.
Interesting.
He's gonna want that
been
back.
so patient at the plate, and Will got him to chase on that one.
And he was trying to slap the ball, but
Yeah.
he's a power hitter. He's a home run hitter as much as anyone in this league when he's on. Derek's going to get a single out of that. He stays hot.
Looks like he got a double.
rolls underneath.
Ground rule double. Rolls under the fence. So now Kyle's got a runner in scoring position. Let's see if they can keep this momentum going. But Derek Cornell being impressive at the plate.
No sophomore slump for that guy.
And that's always been the Brewers' problem is they have one guy that hits, 2 guys that are off, and vice versa, and it kind of has cycled throughout the years. But like Blake just mentioned, when they're all going, they are next to impossible to beat.
I may be a little biased here, but I think that when they're all on, they're the best team in the league.
Kyle gets it to center field. Looks like
This
Derek
is going to be a
Cornell is
good
rounding
play. He
third,
is there.
and he is
He
in
is
time.
in, according to us, but our vote doesn't count.
Nope.
So,
We are just here for you, the fans.
but back to Brett's point, what would you say then, Brett, that the glue that has made all these guys stick together this year has been Derek Cornell? Because I would think that he's the addition that they've been needing over the last couple of years to keep them all together, hitting on the same cycle.
Yeah, I think losing David Olderman was pretty big for their pitching, and he obviously can hit. We haven't seen what he can do, but Derek Cornell came in last year, and he has done great the last couple of years, especially this year. He really picked it up and become a great number 4 for those Brewers.
And you'd think back, we were just mentioning him, but Jimmy Stout, I think they had expected Jimmy to be that 4, to be that consistency. Jimmy's got a ton of promise in this league, and we miss him, and he's been dealing with some health issues over the past 2 years. But Derek has stepped in and stepped up to make up that void for the Brewers over the last 2 seasons. So.
It's actually a scary thought that if these guys are going to all hit together like this, and then you bring a Jimmy Stout back in the lineup, on what really that could be.
Yeah.
Oof.
It makes it interesting to see. And I know we're still playing these games out, but we talk about the future because the Brewers might have 5 that can hit. The Rockies now, with the addition of Michael Patterson, who
was very, very impressive all weekend.
at this point, he's the clear Rookie of the Year favorite.
If you're counting games that rookies played against us, it's not a question. And we didn't see all the games; we missed a lot. We weren't here all weekend. But in terms of rookies that we saw and how they played, Michael Patterson is not even close. No one else gets a vote.
And so that's why it's interesting. They signed him to a 1-year deal, and they expect Grant Boyd to come back and hit like he's hit. So, how does that open things up for the Rockies? They also have another guy named
Great hit.
Chad.
They called a foul
What happened?
ball.
They called a foul?
No, they did not. I misheard someone yell. That was a great hit, actually.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The Rockies have hit 5 up until for the past 2 seasons prior to this year.
Yeah.
They hit 5, so maybe they go back to that. They haven't won a championship hitting 5.
This is Pete's chance to put the game out of reach. If you'll remember, his last at bat was pretty putrid, and he knows it, and it was not great. I told you he's a power hitter.
Oh, and what a play. That is what you
is-
get from Chris Metter.
Wow.
Wow is
That-
right.
Like you said, that could have put it out of the reach.
And
for the
now
Twins
you've got
there.
the Twins just scratching, clawing, hanging.
Momentum swing.
Top 5. It is 7-2. Pete, 7-2?
Yep.
7-2. So it's a 5-run game. Top 5. Brew Crew are the home team. They do have the hammer. If they can keep them to 4 or less, this game will be over. 5 or more, we're going to see a bottom half that will lead off with Derek, and then the top. 0-1 to Mr. Platinum Hands. Great play.
Slaps it up, but just foul. And that was a promising double for Chris Metter with his speed on the base path. He probably could have made that if it stayed there.
I think you're right. I do want to give acknowledgement there to a well-placed position from Kyle Cornell. And he held up, Unfortunately, no one can see that but us.
Yep.
And I do not want to be in that situation in a game like this. 0-2 still. Well,
There's
it was 1-2, but now it's 1 out. Got him. And if there's a guy that I want to bat in the playoffs right now, I think it's Spencer Bogat.
Yep. Down to their last out, the Twins needing a rally here. And Spencer can be that spark that they may need. So we'll see what happens. And he does.
Yep. Back on the old Spencer Bogat workout plan here.
Yeah.
Touching your own home run balls. 7-3. Corey, and then I believe we'll see Edlow
Yep.
in a big spot. Quickly down to nothing. 3-0.
4-0.
4-0.
4-0 now. There.
Good pitch to swing at. You got to get that first strike out of the way.
Corey McCarthy keeping that first strike rule in his mind there, getting that one out.
5-1.
5-1. And these pitchers are throwing some heat.
Reminder, there is one out, nobody on, 4-run game, top 5, 6-1. I can't imagine that PG wants to walk this guy. I think he'd prefer to obviously strike him out or let him put the ball in play and let his defense do the work.
Yeah.
7-1 though. Next, they've talked about Edlow's been hot. I don't know that I really want to face Edlow right now.
Yeah. And
He will.
Edlow is surprising. Sometimes he will take 1 yard that you don't expect somebody to hit out, but he gets to it. And it's I think a lot to do with his non-fundamentals is maybe a better way to say it.
It helps him
Really?
sometimes. The Brewers are going to stick with their third baseman in tight, shortstop deep lineup here.
The shift definitely to the left side of the field there.
I'll ask the question now, before this batter's turn is over. What's going through Pete's head when it comes to a potential pitching change if it does not go the way you want it to?
He's got to be considering it. If Edlow were to hit a 2-run home run, it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do. Is he going to ride PG for the rest of the game?
Dink, that was a great pitch.
That was a
that
great
kissed
just.
the edge.
Does he ride PG for the rest of the inning because they've gotten this far?
It's up. Tree,
And it
tree,
does hit the
tree.
tree.
Peter
And
made a great jump on that too.
You know, Peter was
He-
looking big. He was.
I've said it all day.
wanting
If there's a
that
play to
one.
be made, he's going to make it. He was not given the chance there. Unfortunate for the Brewers. Strike
Oh,
3.
and
Game over.
PG
Brewers
does it.
are in the finals. They will play the winner of the Braves and the Expos.
For John Light, Brian Benware, Brett Spencer, Blake Spencer, and Kevin Poley from our media department. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the championship.